There is a reason this loss feels bigger than the scoreboard. Because when Alex Eala walks onto a Wimbledon court, she is not just another young player trying to survive a Grand Slam draw. She is carrying something heavier than a tennis bag. She is carrying expectation. She is carrying belief. She is carrying the hopes of Filipino fans who wake up early, stay up late, refresh live scores, share clips, and defend every point as if they are standing right there beside her on the grass. And that is why this Wimbledon loss hurts. Not because Alex Eala failed, not because the journey is over, not because one match defines her future. It hurts because this match exposed one big problem that every rising star eventually has to face. At this level, talent is not enough. A great rally is not enough. A strong game is not enough. A few brilliant moments are not enough. At Wimbledon, the gap between promise and breakthrough can be painfully small. One loose service game, one missed return, one rushed forehand, one pressure point that slips away, and suddenly a match that felt within reach starts moving in the other direction. For Alex, this loss may become one of those moments that stays with her, not as a wound, but as a lesson. Because the biggest problem exposed here was not a lack of heart, it was not a lack of fight, it was not a lack of talent. The problem was the challenge of turning her best tennis into sustained control when the moment becomes bigger, louder, and heavier. That is the difference between playing well and taking over. And for a young Filipina tennis star trying to climb deeper into the WTA world, that difference matters. Alex Eala has already shown why people believe in her. She has the left-handed advantage that can make opponents uncomfortable. She can create angles that open the court. She can attack from the baseline when she finds a rhythm. She has the courage to step forward, not just wait for mistakes. And on grass, that bravery is important, because Wimbledon rewards players who think quickly, move cleanly, and strike before the point becomes messy. But grass also punishes hesitation. The ball stays low, the timing changes, footwork becomes more delicate. A player has less time to reset after a bad shot. And when pressure builds, even one half step can make the difference between controlling the rally and defending for survival. That is where Alex's next evolution has to happen. She has the tools, but now she needs the consistency to protect those tools when the match gets tight. Her serve placement has to become more reliable, not just powerful or clever in flashes. On grass, a well-placed serve can create the first opening. It can protect a player from long defensive rallies. It can give her the first strike. But when the first serve percentage dips, or when the second serve becomes predictable, experienced opponents will step in and apply pressure immediately. That is not criticism, that is Grand Slam reality. The return ream is another key. Alex can be dangerous when she reads the serve early and takes time away from her opponent. Her left-handed patterns can bother players, especially when she redirects the ball and changes the angle of attack. But Wimbledon does not give many free chances. If a return sits short, the opponent can move forward. If the timing is late, the rally begins on the back foot. If the pressure point return is missed, the emotional momentum can shift in seconds. And that is the painful part of a loss like this. Fans may remember the missed chances more than the good moments, but coaches and serious tennis watchers see something deeper. They see where the foundation is strong and where the next layer must be built. Alex's baseline aggression is one of her strengths, but it has to be controlled aggression. There is a difference between attacking with purpose and rushing because the moment feels urgent. When Alex builds the point patiently, uses her forehand to open space, and then steps inside the court, she looks like a player who belongs on the biggest stages. But when she feels forced to finish too early, errors can arrive at the worst possible time. That is the big lesson. At the Grand Slam level, the best players do not just hit great shots, they manage moments. They understand when to attack, when to reset, when to make the opponent play one more ball, and when to accept that a point must be rebuilt from zero. That is where mental composure becomes just as important as technique. And let's be honest, the pressure around Alex is different. For many players, a Wimbledon loss is simply a professional setback. For Alex Eala, every match becomes part of a national conversation. Filipino supporters around the world are watching. Families in the Philippines are watching. Young athletes who dream of becoming the next tennis star are watching. Overseas Filipino workers are checking updates between shifts. Kababayan everywhere are hoping, believing, and feeling every momentum swing. That support is beautiful, but it can also become heavy. Because when a country believes in you, every win feels historic, and every loss feels personal.
That is why this moment should not be treated like a disaster. It should be treated like a turning point. Alex is still growing. She's still learning how to handle different surfaces, different opponents, and different emotional situations. Wimbledon is not just about hitting winners. It's about handling silence after a mistake. It's about serving when the crowd is holding its breath. It's about trusting your legs when the grass feels slippery and the scoreboard feels dangerous. And this is where the story becomes bigger than one defeat. The player who learns from this version of Alex may become much more dangerous in the future. Because losses at Wimbledon can reveal weaknesses, but they can also reveal direction. They show exactly what must be improved. They remove mystery. They give the coaching team something real to build from. Serve patterns, return positioning, footwork balance, net decisions, shot selection under pressure. These are not vague ideas. These are the small details that separate a promising player from a serious contender. And Alex has already proven that she is not afraid of hard work. That matters. The opponent across the net deserves respect too, because at this level, nobody wins by accident. Every player in a Grand Slam draw has weapons. Every player can punish weakness. Every player can sense when momentum is shifting. So if Alex wants to take the next step, she cannot rely only on inspiration, crowd energy, or emotional fire. She has to become more difficult to break down, more patient when rallies get tense, more precise when she gets a short ball, more confident in choosing the right play, not just the brave play. That is how growth happens. Not in perfect victories, not in easy wins, but in the uncomfortable matches that show a player the truth. And the truth is this: Alex Eala is close enough to make people believe, but she's still building the complete package needed to go deeper at Wimbledon and beyond. That is not a negative statement. That is the journey of almost every great player before they fully arrive. The good news for Filipino fans is that this loss does not erase the progress, it sharpens the mission. Alex now knows that the next chapter can not only be about showing flashes of brilliance, it has to be about sustaining them. Holding serve when pressure rises, returning with purpose when opportunities appear, moving with confidence on grass, staying calm when the match becomes messy, and most of all, believing that she belongs not only because the Philippines believes in her, but because her game is growing toward that level. This is why the loss feels emotional, but not final. Because sometimes the match that exposes the problem also gives the player the answer. Alex Eala's Wimbledon story is still being written. The page may hurt today, but it is not the last page. Filipino fans have seen enough to know that the fight is real, the talent is real, and the dream is still alive. Now the question is simple. Can Alex take this painful lesson, fix the one big problem, and come back stronger on the WTA stage? What do you think? Is this Wimbledon loss a setback, or the moment that helps Alex Eala become even more dangerous in the future? Comment your thoughts, your prediction, and your message for Alex below. And if you want more Alex Eala updates, Wimbledon stories, and Filipino tennis commentary, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next chapter.